Welcome to Ziegs Den, and today we are playing 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors, also known as 999, which incidentally enough is the English emergency services number. Okay, let's start. Let's see what this thing's capable of, shall we? This game is fiction. All names, characters and incidents portrayed in this production are fictitious. Good to know. A loud noise startled Junpei awake, and his eyes snapped open. As they adjusted to the light, he realized that he didn't recognize his surroundings. Ow! With a crack, Junpei's head connected with something metal. He rolled over and threw out his hand to steady himself, but he found himself groping at empty air. His balance lost, and still fuzzy in mind, struggling to understand what was going on, Junpei tumbled down to the cold, grey floor. Ouch, goddammit! Gah! What the hell? Junpei glared around the room, still trying to determine where he'd woken up. The fall had shaken the last cobwebs of sleep from his mind, and finally he understood where he'd fallen from. It was a bed. No shit! A 3-level bunk bed, in fact. Junpei had fallen, apparently, from the topmost bunk. I've done that before, at a convention. I landed on a radiator. It hurt. His shoulder hurt, his knee hurt, his hip hurt, his entire body hurt. He could feel a bump forming on his forehead where he'd slammed it against the low ceiling. He wondered if that bump was the reason he felt his vision wavering a bit, but that seemed unlikely. At first, he thought the tremor that ran through his legs was just another effect of his rude awakening. But then he looked around, he realized it was real. The whole room was shaking. Was it an earthquake, he wondered? It didn't seem likely. It was shaking far too quickly for an earthquake. Then again, Junpei had no idea what it was, if not an earthquake. He tried to tell himself it was important. Junpei rubbed the growing bump on his head and gingerly climbed to his feet. His balance regained, he finally took his first good look around the room. And muttered to himself, "Where am I?" His pain momentarily forgotten in the face of the confusion of his circumstances, Junpei looked around the room once again. Minutes passed while Junpei struggled to get his bearings. Then, as suddenly as they begun, the tremors ceased. A cold silence fell over the room. From somewhere far away, Junpei could hear the sound of metal squeaking. He felt his stomach tighten. There was 1,000 things the sound could have been, but none of the things he could think of were good. In an attempt to distract himself, Junpei looked around the room once more. There was a stove that looked more antique than functional. The 3-level bunk bed had mattresses that were so thin they were little more than blankets. On the other side of the room was an identical bed, set in the wall. And set in the wall between the beds was a slightly dirty iron door. The first thing Junpei noticed about the door was the number roughly emblazoned across it. On the surface of the door, in red paint, someone had written 5. 5? What's this 5 mean? Suspicious, and still utterly confused, Junpei approached the door slowly. Standing at last in front of the door, Junpei grabbed hold of the L-shaped handle. Push yielded no movement, and a pull the same result. A few more times cemented the truth in Junpei's mind. It wouldn't open. It didn't matter how much he pushed and shoved, the handle wouldn't budge. Next to the door was an odd-looking device. There remained Junpei of a card reader. It didn't take a genius to figure out that the odd-looking device was keeping the door shut. Junpei knocked, hard, on the door. Hey! Hello? Is anyone there? Open the door. There was no response. Junpei threw his left fist into the door and stopped. What the hell is this? He wasn't really sure what else to say. On his left wrist was a bracelet of a sort he'd never seen before. In the centre was a large LCD display. It looked like nothing else so much as a watch. But it clearly wasn't that. After all, it only showed a single number. 5. That's the same as on the door. True, the numbers were the same, but he had no idea what they might mean. All he knew was that it was strange and new, and he wanted it off. Junpei flipped his hand over, as if to remove a watch, but the other side of the bracelet was solid, no buckle, no clasp, nothing. He sighed, and flipped the thing back over. There was a number of rivets around the rim of the face, perhaps. He pushed them, but nothing happened. On the watch, they might be dials for adjusting date or time, but on this bracelet, they did nothing. Junpei was at a loss. What was he going to do? Growing more desperate, he began to tug at it. However, damn. It's no good. Damn thing won't come off. The steel ring ran from the face around Junpei's wrist and back to the face. He wouldn't be pulling the bracelet off any time in the near future. What the hell is the deal with this thing? Frustration and desperation were beginning to mix as the reality of the situation began to fully dawn on Junpei. So much was happening, and none of it made sense. Junpei felt as though he was about to explode. Where am I? And why the hell am I here? Why? Why? What the hell happened to me? It was at that moment he noticed the window. The window was round, rimmed in riveted brass, like a window from an early 20th century ship. What? Wait, am I in a ship? And that would be called a porthole? Portcullis? I don't know. Junpei walked slowly towards the window. He could see nothing beyond it but thick, impenetrable darkness. Junpei squinted, trying to see something. Anything. It was at that moment. What the... You gotta be kidding me. What the hell is going on here? The crack split the glass of the window, and for a moment Junpei stared at it. Then the window burst, and water began to pour into the room. What the hell? God damn it! Junpei yelled and spun around. His feet slipping on the water, already coming through the window. He ran for the door. Hey! Anyone? Is anyone there? Come on, if you're there, say something. There was no reply. As Junpei screamed and pounded on the door, the water began to rise. It was now ankle deep on the floor, and rising quickly towards his knees. Things were not looking good for Junpei. Not good at all. He needed to find a way out, and quickly. Junpei ran a hand across his forehead, brushing the sweat out of his eyes, and looked around the room. Seek a way out! Right, well, to be honest, I'm going to check this thing, because it looks like a card key. Okay. What the fuck? The note's got blur blur in red and blur blur in blue. Alright. An old picture frame. There's a picture of a ship. There's screws keeping it back on. Well, fine. Doesn't seem like there's anything hidden in the sink. And joining this room. There's a towel next to the sink. Well, could I take the towel? Water just keeps pouring through the window. It's like a waterfall. I don't think shoving something into the window is going to stop the water. There! In other words, if I don't want to die, I need to find a way out of this room. I have to figure this out. Okay, what's that? There's a pair of simple chairs next to the table. The water's already up to the chair. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Does everybody think of this? The door to the stove. Well, it opens easy enough. Sure wish the door to get out of here was easy to open. There's a stool in it. Well, that solves the mystery of whether or not this stove has been used before. What's this? It looks red. Awesome. Alright then. Well, the screwdriver got those screws off easily enough, and here's the picture. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it? 1, 4. So someone wrote a bunch of numbers and symbols on the back of this picture, huh? Coloured. Alright, so 7 and then 6. 7, 4. Is it? I'm useless at this. My brain can't remember this shit. Need a pen. Alright, so upper triangle, lower thing. Alright, upper, lower, lower, upper, lower, upper, lower, lower, upper, lower, lower, upper, lower, lower, upper, 7, lower 4, 7, 4, 6, 3, 7, 4, 6, 3. No dice, it's locked tight. Let's see if there's anything in the keyhole. The number on the dial is 0101. I guess I need to put the key in the keyhole before anything can enter any numbers in the dial. Alright, let's find the key. Middle bunk's the birthday. Oh, awesome, key. Huh, looks like there is. There's a key in there. Key? Yep, there's a little blue key in the bottom of this pot. Odd. Yep, I know. Hello, box. Alright, let's see what happens if I put this blue key in the keyhole. And nothing. I guess I'm going to need some sort of code for the dial. 7, 4, 6, 3. What? Shit! Damn it! Open, you stupid thing. I don't think it's going to open if I whack it on the wall a couple of times. Won't make me feel better. Not going to help though. Alright Junpei, don't freak out. Keep it cool and look around for some more clues. More blue! Give me more blue! I knew it wouldn't have been that easy. Small key, red! Okay. The fuck are you gonna do? Junpei grabbed the key and shoved it into his pocket. He intended to leave immediately, but something stopped him. His reflection stared back at him from the mirror, but he scarcely recognised himself. What's up with my face? His confusion was well justified. His face was drawn and pale. The dark circles under his eyes made him look as though he was nearly dead. Man, what the hell happened to me? How did I end up here? Even as he said it, something in his mind opened, and a memory bobbed to the surface. It was the last thing Junpei remembered before waking up in the strange room. It was past midnight when he came home. Junpei shuffled up the stairs and opened the door to apartment 201. Inside was his apartment, a small one-bedroom affair that ran him about $630 a month. Is that a lot? I don't know. He moved into it when he entered college, and so far he'd been there for 3 years and 7 months. He stepped inside and turned on the lights. The fluorescent lights on the ceiling blinked and flickered slowly to life, as if waking from a deep slumber. Their cold light illuminated the landscape he'd come home to so many times before. Everything was as he'd left it. The magazines piled up in the corner, the textbooks collecting dust, the CD cases covering the floor, the jeans and t-shirt he'd worn the day before, then tossed onto the floor. There was one thing that didn't belong, however. There was a breeze. Breaths of cold night air wafted into his apartment, carrying the scent of autumn with them. The white curtain framing his window swayed gently in the wind. Huh, that's weird. Did I leave that open? Junpei walked toward the window, trying to remember if he closed it or not before he left. One of the panes was hanging open. He stuck his head out and looked around. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Junpei shrugged. He must have left it open earlier. He closed the window. Then it happened. Junpei turned and found himself face to mask with a man dressed all in black. The man wore a deep hood and a bulky gas mask. His face was entirely hidden. Junpei tried to scream, but all he could manage was a strangled croak. He tried to step forward toward the man, but his legs could no longer support his weight. Junpei collapsed on the floor, a crumpled heap of limbs, like a discarded puppet. Too late, he noticed the white smoke that was quickly filling his apartment. A small object, shaped distressingly like a grenade, sat on the floor in front of his face, hissing. The white smoke poured out of it at an incredible rate. The smoke had grown so thick that the details of Junpei's apartment began to fade into a white haze. He could feel his mind begin to fade as well. A white haze that was not the smoke creeping into the edges of his vision. He done got drugged! Consider this a privilege. You have been chosen. A rasping voice wormed its way out of the gas mask. It was cold and harsh, and distorted in some way Junpei couldn't put his finger on. You are going to participate in a game. The nonary game. It is a game where you will put your life on the line. That was the last thing Junpei remembered. The white smoke overpowered him, and the masked man faded from his vision, and he felt his consciousness fall away into the white mist. That's right. That guy with the gas mask. That son of a bitch must have taken me here. As to who the man was, or might have been, Junpei had no idea. Indeed, he wasn't even sure that his assailant had been a man. The voice had been cold and mechanical, likely passed through a voice changer, and the body had been covered in a thick cloak. Who was the man in the mask? You have been chosen. Junpei remembered that much, but what might it mean? That was beyond him. Junpei had no idea where he was, or why he was there. There's only one thing from his memory that seemed important. You are going to participate in a game. The nonary game. It's a game where you'll put your life on the line. The nonary game, huh? What the hell is a nonary game? God damn it. With a yell, Junpei drove his fist into the mirror.